Hello, everyone. Jane here from Your Way Weight Loss. Hello, Alicia.
Hi.
Oh my God, it's a Monday and it's November 1st. How motivating.
I
How
mean,
motivating.
there is nothing more motivating than the first of a month on a Monday.
I mean, it is kind of exciting. You feel like we can conquer the world. And hopefully, we gave that fire to our members or people that watch our event this weekend so that they can feel like, yeah, I got this. This is the perfect time for me to conquer what I've learned at the event.
Do you know what? I actually feel like November is like there's one of two paths that you take in November. It's like it's almost Christmas.
I like this.
I'll start my diet January 2022. Or you say, I'm going to stay connected to who I want to be, to how I want to feel. I'm going to wake up every day and do my best. It's almost like one of the two.
I completely agree, actually. And I never saw it that way, but you're so right. Like it can be the last 2 months of the year can be damaging to your journey if you do not stay connected during these 2 months. And they're not weight loss friendly. You know, we said that there's just not two, they're just, it's cold, it's dark. It's Christmas,
It's
it's
sweater
Halloween,
weather.
it's sweater weather, it's all of it. Yeah, you're right.
But guys, what you need to remember is that if you want to feel different in summer 2022, now is the time to be working towards that. As well as the whole, well, it's almost the holidays mindset. If you are going to create a healthy lifestyle for yourself, you will need to learn how to go through Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holiday season. All of those things need to be experienced and learned.
And I think something like a Monday, the first of the month being on a Monday for people like us, it's not like, okay, here I'm changing the world. Like, as in, like, oh, it's a perfect time for me to start a diet. For us, it's mostly like we're holding on to every little piece of what could be like what is motivational, and it's like, oh, it's a Monday, November 1st, new month. How can I, accomplish or show up as who I want to be in November? So we use all of these dates as well as AKA motivation, but we like it's in a different tone than someone that's like, okay, diet Monday, November 1st, I'm changing my life. For us, we just use it as like, oh, well, this is fun. How fun is this? It keeps us connected. It gives us, we can make goals for November because it's on a Monday. I don't know. We see it in a different way than someone that is more used to the diet mentality, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like we see January 1st as like a way to keep going. Like it's like exciting to keep going. And
It,
for others, it's like, oh, it's like this new whatever. And that's the difference.
it's just like, okay, a fresh new season. Like it's just exciting. We're not changing the world here because it's the first of the month on the Monday, but it's just a fresh new season. Actually, just recording this and having this conversation about what's coming up is exciting to me because
Yeah.
we've just spent, so much of our time focused on the event and choosing happy and all that stuff. And now we're shifting our focus a little bit to calorie deficit and to, helping you guys have strategies to be successful throughout the holidays. And the word success is whatever you define it to be. I'm
love
like
that.
excited. I just had that moment just right in front of your very
Oh,
eyes.
I love that. I am so happy I'm a part of it. No, but there is like, I think that, people are not or undervaluing the importance of staying connected in these two, like the next 2 months. Like there's still like 1/6 of the year, and then if you count summer, and you're like, oh, summer I'm disconnecting, and then I'm disconnecting when I'm in, on vacation in March, and then there's not a lot of months where everything is like perfect and just as you wanted it to be. So you need to learn how to live your life in these months, and that's exactly the content that we're providing to our members for the next 2 months. Is just like, how can we push through the rest of the year, and how can we use the new year coming up as excitement, as a way, a strategy to perform for the next 2 months.
So let's get right into Halloween. So like
Yeah.
Halloween candy, it's like the first event, in this new season, the fall season, where probably most people have either leftover Halloween candy or they have kids with Halloween candy. So let's just like have that conversation about candy, Halloween candy.
It's actually interesting because usually we have that conversation before Halloween, but at the end of the day, I do think that we've provided our members for sure the mindset for them to go through Halloween and feel like they've shown up or showed up as they wanted for Halloween. And here's the thing, you guys, Halloween is it's a thing, yeah, for sure. Um, but I do have to say, if you were thinking of Halloween and you were having a moment of like worry or anxiety, that's just you being more aware that there is work to be done with your mindset and that diet mentality, because you've been afraid of Halloween before. Halloween has been a trigger. You felt like you couldn't have the chocolate, yet you ate the whole box, or you feel like you can't have chocolate in your home. And so people are like, oh, I'm just like that. I'm like, no, your mindset is like that. How you think is like that.
Can we just touch on what you just said? You thought you couldn't have any, and so then you ate the whole box. Guys, we need to talk about that. That is called scarcity mindset. And part of why you do eat 75 of the mini chocolate bars when you do eat it is because you told yourself, chocolate is bad. I can't have any. That will ruin my progress. I suck. All of those things that you're telling yourself, that language is creating a scarcity mindset in your head. And then the second that chocolate bar touches your lips, you're like, oh, it's over. And you eat 75 because you had told yourself you couldn't have any. Where ironically, if you went in from an abundance mindset and said, I can, guys, you are grown adults. Repeat after me. You can eat as many damn mini chocolate bars as your heart desires. You are the boss.
Yeah.
But what do you want?
And also leash. They will not, it's not in the fifth chocolate bar is not that fun. Let's be real here. And I do think that when you get to the numbers of like 20 and like I ate like 30, that was emotions, you guys. That was not hunger. That was not need. That was not what you wanted. It's very like you were kind of like it's an out of body experience that happens. There's so many rappers and you're like, how is this possible? Can we just
adding them up?
Yeah, adding them up. Guys, but it brought me back to a post that a new member did on the community group. And she's like, wow, I never realized that I was putting such labels on different foods and what I could and could not have. And I never thought that just having that new mindset of like, you can have whatever you want. There's no like rules or whatever to follow. She thought it was going to make her go crazy. But I'm like, no. We promise it's going to do beautiful things. Like people don't, once you've lived it, you're like, holy mac, I can't believe I've like never tried this. But when you can live in an abundance mindset, which is what we're trying to teach our members, she said she bought something. I can't remember. Was it a pie or cookies or whatever, or ice cream? And she said, because it's my favorite. And I bought it. And I said, just tell yourself that you can have some if you want some. And she's like, you know what? It's been in my freezer for a week and I haven't she said, I want to like use it when it's like, I actually want it, but I can have whenever I want. It can be a Tuesday. It can be. So she's really enjoying that aspect. I'm like, of course you are. Yes, you deserve that. Like there shouldn't be just one day where ice cream is allowed. And so that's huge. Like people need to try it. It's amazing.
And you know what, guys, we're saying this takes time.
Yeah.
Switching your mindset from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset takes time, takes experiences, takes language. So if you're willing and ready to put that in, then awesome, your weight loss is waiting for you. But often, and another member said this as well, that she said she thought what she wanted was to be able to eat all the chocolate every single day. But she said she realized what she wanted was just the permission. And as soon as she gave herself permission, like I can eat as many of these mini chocolate bars as I want, she wasn't over consuming them in one sitting because she knew if she wanted some tomorrow, she could have 2 or 3 or 4. If she wanted if she wanted 2 after she had 1, she could have it. So really having that conversation with yourself is so important.
And I do think that the first thing to create an abundance mindset is stop labeling food as good or bad. I think that my top 2 advice for anyone that wants to listen would be step 1, stop labeling food. It's going to change your life. honestly, it's going to change. It's like the first step to like, it's one of the most important steps, I guess, to a better, healthier relationship and mindset and all that. And the other one is stop putting timelines and speeds on your journey. And like, so that would be my top two advice. But if we go back to the abundance and stop labeling food, law, it's such a gift.
I that was on my notes. That was the first thing, and said there's nothing bad. What you guys need to know about Halloween candy is there is nothing inherently bad about chips, candy, chocolate. What you need to know is they are highly processed food items. They're also highly palatable food items. So
I'm
what
like
that
tired.
means is the food scientists are working behind the scenes to make chips so delicious that it is hard to eat a reasonable amount. So that's what you need to know about Halloween candy. Highly processed, nutrient deficient, and highly palatable. It's not bad, but those are the facts about
I love
Halloween
that.
candy.
I love that. So it's just like describe it as it is. And it's not, we're not saying that's bad. But you knowing and being more aware of what it is. And then just again, that like you can have whatever you want. And like again, I'm telling you, there's something to be said about that. The abundance mindset that is not being talked about enough in the world, especially not in the weight loss world, you know? So we're the ones putting that message on the board here.
Guys, so what, and to further, do that point with bad food, I want you to think about, you will not gain weight from eating 10 chocolate bars. You will gain weight from being in a calorie surplus. This is how a human body gains weight. There is a big difference between a surplus of 300 calories and 3,000. So when you have that moment where your brain says to yourself, what's the point? You already ate 3. There's a point.
Oh, there's a point. Don't say I already ruined it. No, no, no. There's a difference between eating the whole box and eating 3 more than you had planned. Law. So that's yes, 1000%. Did you listen, you guys? Like, yes. And I think that's again a conversation that's not happening enough. And people are just saying, like, well, I ate one Oreo or whatever you had labeled as bad. And it's like, might as well, not might as well. If you're like, oh, I'm already over budget, might as well keep going. That's ridiculous, right? You're like, no, it's not. Might as well keep going.
It's like going to the mall and spending, putting on your credit card and putting $100, and then, well, I put 100. I'm gonna go 3,000. Like, is there a difference between $1,000 on your credit card or 3,000? Hard yes.
Hard yes. Like,
and it's easy for us to see it when it's something tangible,
right.
like money. But when it's calories, we struggle with that because it's our emotions. So when you guys are, and how you're going to change this is you need to catch yourself thinking, you guys. You need to get in that brain of yours. You need to listen to your thoughts. So while you're, today, if it's after supper and the kids are having their Halloween candy and you're having that conversation in your brain about what you are or are not going to eat, you need to remind yourself when your brain says, who cares? Doesn't matter. You already ate one. You need to talk your brain down. You need to go rational. Actually, it does matter. I'm absolutely allowed to have as many as I want, but is this what I want?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's all language. I mean, guys, we talked about confidence last week. We talked about and everything. We talk about motivation. We talk about weight loss. We talk about weight gain. We talk about everything that has to do with creating who you want to be is with how you think. So the language that you're using towards your marriage, your relationship, your work, your perceptions, how you spend your money, how you spend your calories, like all of it is language, like, oh, this is fine. That's language, perceptions, like all of it is in your brain. Everything is in your brain. And then whatever it tells you, your brain, wherever it goes is going to be the answer to any emotion. So what I mean by that is if your perception is always negative, if you feel like it, if you're always down and whatever, your brain is telling you that whatever's happening in your life is bad. And but if it's, do you hear that? The machine? Okay, good. Jeff is printing things. Did not think that would make a lot of sound. I really like when he works from home. Can you tell?
You're like, get out of my zone.
Oh my goodness. It's too much. But yeah, what I mean is your life, take a look at your life, take a look at your relationships, take a look at you, how positive you feel or how energetic you feel, or if you feel happy in your life, and it all starts in your brain. Here he is.
Look at her looking at her husband with love.
Oh, hello.
Okay, I feel like I need to explain to people that are watching on YouTube what's happening with my hair. I just got my roots done, everyone. This is what's happening with my head.
Oh my God. And what's happening with me is that this is the week, like we're recording this the week right before the event, and I am tired. So I am yawning like a crazy person. I think you look great.
I love you.
Oh, yes. When are you washing your hair before the event?
I'm not.
You're gonna wash that whatever.
I'm gonna wash my face, my head.
Yes.
It like naturally will come off, but I'm not gonna wash my hair.
No, and also what hairstyle we're putting you, it's gonna hide it.
Yeah. We got this.
Top secret. Okay.
Okay, so I actually wrote down a few strategies, let's say, like, because, you know, we can talk the talk, we've kind of talked the mindset stuff, the language stuff, but like, you know, let's talk about the actual strategies around having this in your home. And the first thing is like calorie awareness. Like, educate yourself, guys. Turn those packages around. Like, they're actually quite calorie friendly.
Yeah, I ate 3 of them last night at 10:03 p.m. and like
3 what?
Are good. I'm good. I'm still alive. And I think that's less than 200 calories, maybe.
What did you eat?
I ate 2 Kit Kat bars and 1 coffee crisp.
Perfect. I think they're like 60 calories each.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, oh, it's not bad. Like less than 200 calories of chocolate when I feel like I need it. Absolutely.
Oh, at least
I could have kept going, but I didn't want more. Like, you know what I mean? Even the third one, I'm like, oh, that was not necessary. Just 2 would have been really good for you, Jose. But then like, because I can have whatever I want, I stopped at 3, you know? Can Jose eat 77? Absolutely. You know, but I stopped at 3 because I am allowed to do whatever I want. You got it.
And they're there, and you know, today, if you can have more.
Yes, I can.
But if you are struggling, guys, really with having it in your home, there is a lot of power of out of sight, out of mind. Like it shouldn't be just like where the second you open your pantry, there it is. Like, you're just going to think of it 7,000 times a day. Put it somewhere where you don't see it 7,000 times a day.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, when we were doing Atomic Habits in January, and it was all about the environment you're setting up, you know?
Absolutely.
And that's huge, you guys. Like, when people are like, how do you accomplish all the things and whatever? I'm like, I've set up my life very Jose friendly for me to accomplish the things I want to accomplish. So if you're like, I want to accomplish not eating chocolate today, you need to set up your environment for that to be friendly to you and to help you perform.
Absolutely. Like, put it somewhere else. Leaving space in your brain. So guys, giving yourself like the time between your brain says, I could crush Halloween candy, and the time you are grabbing the Halloween bag. Please give yourself time. And that can be physical space. Like, maybe you literally leave the kitchen, you go up to your bedroom or wherever, you go in the basement. I don't know where you go, but you just think, what do I want right now?
Yeah.
Just leaving that space, which can be physical space or time or both, can give you an opportunity to, it almost looks like animalistic sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's also can be, if you're hangry, like avoid hanger at all costs, all the time.
Oh, absolutely. And I do think that like having that time and that space, like you said, to really think about, why do I want the Kit Kat right now? Is it because I would really want a Kit Kat right now? And how, and I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with a Kit Kat. I'm telling you, okay, there really is not. Okay. So stop those labels and whatever. But like, if you're like, what drama is that going to bring to your life? So if you eat the Kit Kat, what are you going to say to yourself is more important than the Kit Kat? I'm telling you, long-term, big picture, what's more important is how you're going to speak about the Kit Kat and yourself, not even kidding, and the friggin' eating the Kit Kat.
And how you guys are going to figure out if you do want to eat 1 Kit Kat, no Kit Kat, or 12 Kit Kats, you need to say to yourself, who do I want to be? So I personally want to be the person that can have Halloween candy in their home, that can eat a few if I so choose, but does not binge or overeat or eat way past hunger or eat 17 in 5 minutes. That's not who I want to be. So who I do want to be is the person that if they genuinely want a Kit Kat, they eat the Kit Kat. So you need to ask yourself that.
Yeah.
Is that who you want to be?
Yep.
If you want to be
That's
the person
simple.
that doesn't eat the Kit Kat, couldn't support you more.
Yeah, if you're like, no, I think it's too processed. I would really like to not have that whatever sugar or carb in my body. We support you. You know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, cool.
And you know what can happen though, and this is a whole nother conversation. I've been meaning to do a live on this. Maybe we can even do a podcast. Maybe we've already done a podcast, but I wanted to talk about like processed food and like whole food and the whole conversation between like health and weight loss and how they overlap.
Okay.
And what can happen sometimes is people are like, oh, I shouldn't eat a Kit Kat because it's bad. So then you're like, oh, I'll have something different for dessert. And you eat like a banana. You don't even want the banana. The banana is actually more calories, nutrient dense. Do not attack me for my banana comment.
Oh my
The
goodness.
banana is delicious, nutrient dense, great. Okay. But what I have a problem with it is when people eat the banana because they think they should. They don't even
Right.
want it.
Exactly.
And how
Exactly.
does that story end? People then eat the chocolate bar anyway.
Yeah. Or are confused because they don't understand that they're gaining weight, yet they're eating all nutrient dense foods, and you can still be over you can still not be in a calorie deficit and be eating all whole foods, you guys. That
Oh,
avocado toast though,
oh,
there is a lot of calories happening right there.
absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, good talk. Okay,
good talk.
so calorie deficit, you guys. Calorie deficit. Why are we talking about that? Because you need to be reminded of this when you have chocolate staying in your home, because there's nothing wrong with eating a few chocolates because you can still be in a calorie deficit while eating chocolate. And I actually had that moment when I purchased my chocolate about a week prior to the Halloween with no anxiety. I just want to share that, like zero anxiety of having it in my home, because I'm not scared of the food. I'm like, oh, if I want a Kit Kat. But in the past, you guys, I would have like waited till the day before because I'm like, I can't handle it. Like I hate sometimes the way I treated myself. Like I like was like this like prisoner of like, I can't have that. Like I did that a lot. So we can totally sympathize with you if you're like, how did you get to that point? Because I know, Leash, that many people that listen to us are like, I'm that person, you know, like I don't think I can handle it. And I'm so proud that I bought those chocolates, pomme de question. And I was like, oh, that would be fun to have at home. You know, I wouldn't go and buy some all year just because I don't want to be the person that has chocolate bars in her home all year round. That's not who I want to be. But at the same time, like there's nothing wrong with that. You could be, and like life is
I
good.
mean, that's me. I
Yeah,
have chocolate bars
exactly.
in my home
Exactly.
all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? I totally agree that I mean, we both were there. We both were at that point where we would have thought, oh, only buy it. I haven't bought mine, but just because I'm like pretending it's not happening. But we both would have been that people before. And then how did we get here? Time, experience, language. There was no one moment, you guys. There was no one
No.
moment where the light switched, and that was the moment that we were cured. It is something that has happened so gradually over time with us being present and working on our language and our knowledge around food. That's it.
That's really it, though.
That's
And so
really it.
when people are like, "What's your secret?" Like for losing the weight, keeping it off, still being so connected. Legit, the things that are said in my brain are really paving the way for me to be able to keep my success. Like it's not like what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, what type of exercise I'm doing, you guys. It really is like my brain is now geared or prepared, or I don't know, like it's just there. It's my biggest fan. It wants me to succeed. It allows what like how I've like molded it, my brain. It's like I said, biggest fan, hype girl, let's do this. And once you have that, you just go. Like once you have that and you keep it, you have to stay connected. That's also the other piece. Like you have to stay connected. Like anything else, you want a happy marriage forever, you have to stay connected. You want to keep being happy with your body or whatever, you have to keep staying connected, because life passes by so fast and habits change so quickly and you disconnect so quickly. So you have to like make it a point to stay connected to who you want to be. But there's no other secret.
I mean, we keep telling them there's no secret,
I
but
know.
they keep looking for it.
They keep asking what we eat for breakfast.
So guys, you know, if you are sitting right now and you know that there is a mountain of Halloween candy in your home, I want you to give yourself an opportunity to reflect on who you want to be around Halloween candy. Think to yourself, you know what, I would love a few chocolate bars after supper tonight. How many do you think you would need to satisfy you? Like I do that with the kids when we buy Timbits. I said, how many do you think you would need? So I put it on them. I let them choose. What do you think is reasonable? And have that conversation with yourself, though, before the moment. And then remind yourself, Alicia, you said 3 mini chocolate bars was reasonable.
Yeah.
So don't scoff them down. Sit, pick them, enjoy, and do not let any drama in that brain of yours.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And if you just tell yourself that there's a Halloween every year. Okay, so let's go with that. Halloween's every year. So you need to get through this. Like you can't, there's no like just ignoring it. Another thing that we didn't touch on that I would use as a strategy as well is like, what is Halloween about? And it's
Sorry,
probably not about you.
What's the holiday called again?
Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween?
You said it like Halloween.
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 Ha. 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 Halloween. Oh, shut up. City Halloween. Oh my God, that's funny to say Halloween.
Halloween.
Because it's like a hall. Hall. Halloween. Oh my God,
gosh.
people are laughing and screaming at whatever they want to say. Okay, but la Halloween, that's very français, that's why. La Halloween vient back l'année prochaine. So it's coming back next year, okay? And the thing is that you also need to remind you what is it about? And it's probably not about you eating chocolate. It's about the children dressing up or the adults that want a good Halloween party. But you get what I mean? So like,
yes.
Don't blame Halloween for your lack of the proper mindset and language to get through this in a very mindful way. All right.
And a nice reminder, guys, that there's actually nothing special about Halloween candy.
Right.
This is actually candy that you can get all year round. It just, they put it in a different package and it happens to be probably in abundance in the stores in your home, but it's literally just the same chips that you could buy 365 days a year. Like, so it's not like you're at your grandmother's and she made a pecan pie and you get it once a year. Like, let's not pretend like it's Halloween candy.
It's Halloween candy. It's all the time. You can get it at the dollar store all year round.
You really can.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, everyone, this was a great chat. Hopefully you know what to do with your Halloween candy and you feel on top, like you feel like you got this.
You got this.
Yeah, they do got this. Okay, you need to follow us everywhere. We have something huge coming up. We have something super fun. Of course, we can't stop. So we have something super fun coming up in 2 weeks. So we want you to follow us everywhere so you don't miss out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook under Your Way Weight Loss. Or you can even really start thinking about joining us at yourwayRsupport.com. Okay, bye everyone. Bye, Leash.
Bye.